I was jamming to that.
Hey, it should have been a little bit longer. I might have to extend that intro a little bit so everybody can kind of get into the groove. Because by the time it hit, it's over with. But let me tell you, everybody hears that intro, and the first thing they say is, "Oh, look at the chick with the cigar. She kicking it." I'm like, yeah. And our producer is like, well, I don't know. We might not. That might float on all platforms. We might get a little censored on that one. So I may have to scratch out that blunt on there. We're gonna have to put not blunt. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be telling my business like that. No. It's a cigar, y'all. It's a cigar. That was my boss lady shoe.
Thank you. It was a true Cuban. It was a Cuban cigar. Okay. Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This is our first and fiery night for I Said What I Said. Let me tell you, I said what she said, telling all the business. Yes, we got family in here.
Thank you for coming in.
We got family in here tonight. So what we are bringing you guys is something that the Floor is Yours podcast has never brought before. We're going to mix pop culture, we're going to mix hot topics, and we're going to give it to you from a woman's standpoint. So, you know, I have my beautiful host here, and actually this is her show. I am just a guest right now, and so I just want to go and introduce the beautiful Miss Debbie J. She is the reason for the season, and what our show is going to do basically is we're going to be coming to you twice a month. Again, we're going to be coming with hot topics. And if there's a hot topic that's hit the news, then we're going to scramble to get that information so that you can hear our opinions and we can get, some feedback on what you guys think we should talk about and basically how to join the discussion. Remember, you can follow us on all of our platforms. Remember, you can reach out to us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I mean, we are everywhere. So I want you guys to give me a warm round of applause for the lady of the hour, Miss Debbie J.
Hey, y'all.
So go ahead and let the people know what we'll be talking about tonight, and basically how our thoughts are. And again, this is our opinion. We are not here to bash men, but we are here to give our insights on what our community feels and what we feel. And so I think coming from two different areas in life, if you don't mind me telling, if you are single, right, Debbie?
Yes.
Miss J is single. I am married. So you'll get different perspectives. And she's got a two-parter because, she has somewhere she's come from too. So she can kind of elaborate on where she is now as she was married before. So, we're going to try to give you guys a true background of a Black woman, also standpoint of how some of these hot topics hit us in the news. And someone said the Juneteenth ice cream. We did not ask for that. Okay, we didn't ask for that. I didn't co-sign on some swirly cream. Okay, did not. Okay, I didn't ask for none of that. And first of all, don't put out an ice cream unless you have a Black person helping you push Juneteenth. I feel like it's okay to be inclusive about these things, but don't be so uninclusive where I look up and the ice cream is vanilla. Okay. All right. So go ahead, kick it off for us.
Velvet. Let me get that a little. Yes, it was velvet. Your mom's red velvet, so we know it ain't gonna taste as good. And then they got us a great value with that. Can we please get some bluebell?
Can we get buyers like maybe? Like, yes, thank you. No,
Ben and Jerry's something,
Thank you. They couldn't even get the little honey bunny.
Shelf.
Thank you. We couldn't get no yogurt. It's a lot of diabetes in our community. It's like, come on, like, be conscious here. You might as well set up a Walmart next to our house. Like, okay, we got off topic. Okay, so go ahead and let us know what the reason for the season is tonight. And what we will be discussing.
Tonight we have a plethora of topics. We just didn't want to come to you and just bog you down with one. We got a few topics we're going to hit on. We're going to talk about Kevin Samuels a little bit, rest in peace. We're going to give a shout out to Robb Elementary. We're going to say something about Christian O, also known as Toby, to his friends and family. This is the guy whose girlfriend had unalived him. We're going to talk about just some of the things that's going on in these countries, in our country, that's truly affecting us. It's like this ice cream thing and the whole Juneteenth trademark that they got going on right now. Like, we're going to touch all of these topics, and we might as well get started with it because we got plenty to talk about tonight.
So first up, let's hit Kevin Samuels. We want to. Oh no, let's hit Christian Toby.
Wait. We have to give a shout out to the condolences to the families, the children that was lost on yesterday at Robb Elementary, the senseless shooting. We definitely have y'all in our prayers. Me and my daughter personally prayed together yesterday on behalf of the children and families for their mental state, for their strength and peace of mind throughout this time frame. It truly hit home because it was unexpected. Kids getting ready for the summer, parents getting ready to pick up their kids for the day, and this tragic event happened. It personally rocked my household because me and my daughter literally cried together and on each other's arms because I could feel their pain and the disgust that it caused these people and us. So how did it affect your family over there? Ladybug?
I think that I was very vocal yesterday about my feelings, and I try to lean back some when I'm on Facebook or Instagram on what I have to say, but there were so many people that I felt rode over this because these were Black and brown kids, and I feel they were brown kids. It was but I felt like for one, of course the shooter, he engaged, and so he did die, but then we have a shooter from Robb's who was basically slowly put into the car. He was guided into the back seat. And, and I just feel like, I think that this country puts its anger behind what it either politically thinks is right or what it morally thinks is right or what affects them in their household. And how can we be one nation under anything if everybody is just one nation under my house and what I got going on? I thought this was a land for everyone. And so in my home, I think I set out, what really struck me the most was that these young kids are having to be identified through DNA. And that is because those bullets riddled their poor little bodies. And so to hear that there are parents hollering and screaming from the Coliseum to find out that their children are gone, to hear that he just hit one classroom and he had a mission, and to hear that in Texas, gun, you don't need a permit to carry a gun. This kid was able to get a gun in 2 days. I mean, the list goes on and on, how we constantly and continue to fail as a nation. This country has a problem with guns. I'm not saying take all the guns away, but I'm saying that we need to do something better so that guns don't make it into the wrong person's hands, whether they be racist, whether they be mental, whether they're mad. We need better legislation. Those poor babies didn't even, they just had their ceremonies, their graduation ceremonies, and so these poor babies didn't get to relish in their day before they had to die under a hell of bullets and somewhere where we thought is safe. Exactly. So, it's still in my heart. It's still in our hearts.
The one celebrity that stood out to me the most was Steve Kerr, the basketball coach for for Golden State. If y'all did not see his interview, please go to YouTube. I sent it to a few people already, but go look up his interview, Steve Kerr interview on YouTube. It was a powerful message that he had sent out to these lawmakers, and he broke down, like, it was very touching. It was the fact that he stood up for what he believed at the right time and said what he had to say. He wasn't even talking about basketball. It was the fact that we need to address this and not just do the moment of silence and forget about it and let
Right.
these lawmakers do whatever they want to do. Like, we really need to bog down and get something going on this, honestly.
And to hear him and to see him beating on that desk and saying enough is enough,
Yes.
when will we get these lawmakers that can help us make change, really step up and do what they need to do as far as gun control? There has to be gun control. There has to be. And so, I know that the powers that be, a lot of people, you've got the NRA that they lace a lot of pockets. And so, I mean, it's crazy. It's one nation under gun. And that is what, what's the poet's name? I can't think of her name right now, but she spoke at the inauguration for Biden. And she really stepped up and told and gave us a wonderful poem. I don't know if our producer in the background can find it, but towards the end, maybe we can show it to the people. Amanda Gorman. And she basically gave a beautiful poem about, basically how this is one nation under guns. And that's how we live. And it's horrible. It's horrible.
Horrible. So once again, our condolences to the family, to all the families affected. God have mercy on the baby soul, the two teachers. So we definitely wanted to highlight you all today. You truly will be missed by the community, and you're making a pillar statement with your lives. Your lives will not go as void. We're going to make sure we push for that. So thank you so much for that. But hey, let's get into some juicy stuff now.
All right, so we're gonna start this off. Sorry to go from a sad note, but we're gonna try to pick things up, and we're gonna move towards I said what I said. So again, today we're gonna bring you some very, very, very hot topics. And the first one we're gonna talk about is, who do we want to talk about first? This is your show.
Let's get on Kevin for a second, because it's gonna roll into Christian.
Okay.
It's gonna roll into Christian. Okay, so my thing with Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. I did not have no bad blood with the man. My issues with him was his delivery.
Right.
The man had some good stuff to say. He really did. The fact of the matter that he was correcting women, because basically he was saying, be what you want to have. So in a roundabout way, he was saying it in a mean way. The reason why he lost so many people, I truly feel, is because the delivery. Your delivery was absolutely whack. You can't talk to people like that and expect them to be respected. It's just like what the Bible says in Proverbs 15. The Bible says, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. When he said he made all those black women angry, yes, there's some women that actually agree with what he said. I agree with what he said, the delivery of it, because so many of our black men stood up for what he said. But if we change the delivery, if we change who was saying this, so let's say Trump was saying this to our black women, would y'all black men still stand up and be behind him? Or y'all just hooray because it was another black man saying it to y'all, so y'all can get behind that? My deal is, it's not about who says it, it's about the way that you say it, and the content that you say it, and just being respectful. You can't disrespect people in public and expect them not to feel some kind of way. Black people, we already on edge as it is. You say the wrong thing to us, we most time ready to pop off, So I truly believe it was his delivery that held him back from reaching more people and getting his point across, because he did have some good stuff to say. What you think?
He did. I think a lot of the things that he said in some instances should have been said. I think there needs to be some accountability in our community about certain things. But I think the topics that he touched on didn't necessarily make us grow. Those topics made us angry. So the topics that he should have been touching on as a black man would be more of what black women and care is for black males in their household, and how those things transcend, how we can build better men. Speak from his standpoint, not mine. Because see, you don't know what it is to walk in a woman's shoes. You think you do.
Right.
And so, when you move that way, then if you have, and first of all, we're talking about a man that's been divorced, 2 or 3 times. And so, I need for the coach to have understood the game, So he never understood the game. So I'm just saying, I needed him to understand the game, because if he did, then he wouldn't be in a place where he is on a single platform telling, as a single, previously married several times and didn't get it right. He's on a platform trying to explain to other women who are looking for love, trying to understand where they may need to move and how they need to change in life. Instead of saying what he thinks men want, he's telling them just what they're not. And so,
Correct.
you can never determine who and what a person is off of a Zoom call. So, you don't know if that woman that you out here telling, well, she fat. Well, let me tell you something. Maybe she does need to lose some weight, but you don't know. Maybe she's taking some type of steroid that's made her gain weight.
Exactly.
She has 15 minutes to tell you her whole life story. I don't think so. So that's the problem that I had for him. And a lot of things and when he says a high value man and a high value woman, most of the conversation that he's focusing on was based off of looks. So I don't need you. I don't need you. And then he would try to counteract it and say, well, what do you bring to the table? And so the problem that I had with that was that, we do live in a society where looks are important. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. It is important to some people, not all people. But I think that if we adorn ourselves, we all, as women, we do understand that we need to adorn ourselves, take care of our bodies, get out here, work out, be healthy, stay at, keep ourselves up the way that we should. There is a forum for that. It's just not a forum for him to speak on. It wasn't a forum for him to speak on. As far as people wishing death and being glad that this man, I've seen some treacherous memes out here. You want to talk about these sisters was out here dancing on this brother's grave. Okay?
Yes.
What are they doing? Why are they doing
the disrespect?
I'm just saying they were seriously dancing on this brother's grave. And I'm like, also he is human. So 10 years from now, if he would have lived longer and taken a look back at those and said, hey, I made a mistake, but I'm not going to give him a pass. Speak from the standpoint, not mine. Yes, I'm trying to tell you. So, yeah, but see, the problem is with the Kevin Samuels and the Derek Jacksons of the world is that we give them these platforms because there is still a group of women out here that feel like this man must have it all figured out. He looks flashy. He's got a big podium and tons of followers and oh my God, his crib and ooh. And then, so let's talk about something that flashed on the screen. And it says that, did he practice what he preached? So when he died, what was one of the first things that they said? They said that he didn't have what?
No money.
He didn't have no money. Right.
Yeah, because they do a GoFundMe for his.
Yeah, they did a GoFundMe, and then when everybody had an uproar about it, the first thing they said was, "Oh, the family took it down." And then they were looking at, where he was residing, and it is a high rise, and some of the high rises, no matter the size, can still be expensive. But the fact that he died with $1,000 in his bank account led me to believe that, hey, he was definitely bolstering his financial status. So I think that he is a prime example of how no life insurance. Yes, dear. Yes. And exactly. he is a prime example of how we need to stop putting our focus on, on people on social media when we really don't know how they live. Yes, 1K.
Exactly.
We don't know how they live. We don't know how these people live. Stop glorifying celebrities. Stop going. It is so many people in our family that are in front of us every day, our friends, our girlfriends. We can look at those people and feel proud of them instead of going out here trying to find pride, trying to get information, there are somebody in your circle right now that you need to feel comfortable with to go to ask about marital issues. Find those type of things around you about being a couple, about, childbearing. Find those role models amongst us, not on social media.
Exactly. See the difference between Kevin Samuels and Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey has had multiple marriages as well. The deal with him, I had an issue with Steve at first. I'm not gonna lie. I had an issue with Steve. how you married a
I have
few
to be
times
careful
and
what
want
I
to
say.
tell me about relationships, and you yourself has been divorced a few times and have multiple mothers for your children. But then when you start listening to what he say in the delivery, he's basically treating you like you're his daughter. When it started changing for me when, okay, I'm sitting back looking at it, what he's saying is the truth. Stop looking at what he has done in his past. He is actually trying to tell you from the standpoint of, if we was his daughter, hey, stop giving these men so much so fast. The book, the 90-day rule, you remember he had put out, like you at Ford, and Ford gives you 90 days before they give you benefits. Like, that kind of makes sense. That stuff started making sense to me. I stopped being
It makes
so
sense to me.
defensive.
Nothing
And
Steve
he,
Harvey say makes sense.
what?
I think his
No,
lips get in the way sometimes when he be
you know
talking.
what? Okay, we got a
I
comment. Even Miss Cookie. Miss Cookie says Steve now builds people and offers positivity, even if he's offering correction. Exactly. It's about the delivery and promoting growth, not breakdown. That is the difference of it for me.
I'm gonna say this.
Very
I'm
much
gonna say this
so.
again. We have to be careful about what we believe just because it's out there about these celebrities. Steve Harvey's act like a woman, think like a man. There is his lifestyle. There's so many things about the scenario that people don't understand. Even, and we don't have the time to really get into it. That's definitely another conversation. But he's had sex scandals on his show. Um, I don't want to drop names, but he's had some issues. And so even though we are putting out this content, we have to figure out what we can and can't believe in. And so, I think that moving forward, I think that we just have to be a better judgment of everything that we believe in. Like, this is a great one. Nobody wants to believe that Megan Thee Stallion was shot. I actually see people on social media that say this woman wasn't shot in the foot. Oh, she wasn't shot. She stepped on glass. She's trying to tear down black men. We have to determine. It says someone left a comment. People need to start incorporating common sense and stop looking to other fallible humans for playbooks on love and life. Thank you,
Yes,
because
definitely.
that's what I'm talking about, because we are constantly looking at these other people thinking that because they are on a pedestal in a certain way they have all the answers when they don't. We don't know how they're living.
Well, my question with Steve would be this: if he's giving good information, even though he might not live the lifestyle he's preaching, but do that make what he say incorrect? Just like someone that a mass
True.
shooter that
Yes.
came in, a
Yes.
mass shooter, if he comes in and say, hey, 4+4 is 8, because of his background, do that make 4+4 8 wrong? No, it's still the truth. We all we all are human and mess up. Yes. And the
Yes, we
fact of
do.
the matter is, we got to stop looking at people's lives and take what they're saying and see if it can correlate with our lives, if it actually makes sense. Because a lot of stuff do make sense, but it's coming from people that's full of nonsense. You
Right.
see,
Like pastors in the church. How many pastors in the
exactly.
church sleep
Yes.
with somebody in the church? And then I'm not gonna lie, I found out one of my pastors had a tumultuous, affair, had a side baby, and I was just like, okay, I'm done. I'll stream.
She's like, that is enough for me.
Yeah. You ain't got to worry about me.
By me, you ain't got to worry about me. Put my finger up. I am out.
I am out of this church for real. But I mean, this is real life for us. And again, we need to find our role models in other places. We
Definitely.
need to, not everybody, there's not one person that has a perfect marriage, a perfect relationship, mother daughter, father son, but everything is everything takes the time to work on. We have to work on our relationships. No one's going to have those answers for us because every scenario is different. Now Derek Blackson, If our producer could flash that picture of him for us.
Derek
This
or
man,
Christian?
Derek, because we didn't really talk about Derek.
Jack,
Did we
okay.
Jackson? Yeah. If we can flash the picture of him, Derek Jackson is another, until guru that comes in and tells women what men want, right? And so he was doing this and doing this and doing this and doing this for years and years and years and years. And so the last 2 years, especially during the pandemic, it came out that he was cheating on his wife. And then his mistress came out and she spoke about it. And so, I feel like, again, his delivery was different from, I would say, Kevin Samuels. He approached women a lot better. Yeah, but like Mia said, yeah, he lost me when he was cheating,
Exactly.
and but his approach was different. He was kind. He wasn't always degrading women. He would stick it to men sometimes, and that was refreshing. That was refreshing to see that there was a man out there that wasn't going to be like, giving a woman levels of how she should be equal to a man. It's just saying, work on yourself, make yourself better, not beating someone down. But even him and his approach, he was exposed to being a cheater.
But you see the difference between the two. So when we're degrading women, the man was for that spokesperson. But when the man was uplifting women and trying to give them some game, the men hated Derek Jackson. They talking about this man sitting in his car all the time. We don't even know if the man got legs. Can he stand? Like, are y'all freaking serious? It's the fact that, why are we like that as a community when we're building up our Black women, which they do say, I don't know the numbers or the true facts of this, but they say Black women are the most unprotected, unvalued human beings alive. And when we look at it, I'm going to take this into Christian story. When we look at that, we up here, we get degraded. I don't truly feel like our men community, our Black men community was really standing up for us when they was all for what Kevin had to say. They was all for it because it made us look bad. It only added to the stereotype of we're the angry Black females and we don't know how to keep a man, how to make a man happy, and that's why they go to other races, this, that, and the other. It fed until they into their misbelief. Because if you look at it, we've been there with y'all on them slave ships. They taking our babies away from us. If we're gonna go down the whole line, we've been there since the beginning of time. And the white women, let me not go there because I'm gonna say what I said, but
you said what you said.
I don't want to ruffle no feathers on the first.
You got to say that. You said what you said. Say it.
It's just the fact that I get so angry that we don't have so many standing up to us. It's like we want to be protected too. Yes, we're strong as hell. Why? Because y'all asses live. Y'all done left us to be the breadwinners, caretakers, the providers for these families, for these kids, and y'all go and do you. It's like, what do you expect us to be, soft and frail? Like, no, we're going to be strong. And so that's going to only make you have to
Black women have ever had any other way to be.
No other way. And the thing is, it makes you have to level up your game. But hell, y'all don't want to do that. That's too much work for you. You'd rather have it easy. Hell, we can't. So what's the point? So Mia Davis says, when the pastor, police, etc. don't stand up for us, then what? Then we are called aggressive and crazy when we finally, and finally stand up for ourselves. And yes, we're going to snap because we have the world of the shoulders, the weight
on our shoulders.
Yes, exactly.
That's right.
And it's like, where's our relief? Where's our relief? Because I still got to come home and deal with these kids. I've been talked bad about at work, passed up on promotions at work because of my race, because I'm so angry, and then got to come home and deal with the kids too. You really feel like I have the mental capacity to deal with someone that's not even trying to meet me halfway? He just want me to be that old time see, Fletcher and messed up the damn train of thought.
No, they just want you to be docile. They want you to be docile,
Exactly.
and they want you to be soft in a different way that you don't have the luxury of being. And so,
Exactly.
it's hard to it's hard to have to stamp
Find that
out and do a
release.
lot of things that you do in your daily life and microaggressions that you experience on these streets every day, and then come home
Yes.
and say, "Okay, baby," and so that in a sense it's a struggle. It's a struggle for any person. So it's funny. I watched a meme the other day, and it was a white lady, and she stepped out and she said, "Woo!" She said, "Being a strong Black woman is hard."
Man, yes.
She
It
said, "Being a
is.
strong Black woman is hard." She said, "I tried it," and she said, "It ain't always fun." She says it's liberating. She said, "But it ain't always fun." So I think that we have to continue to um, uplift each other. I think that when we have these issues outside of everything that we do every day, we really have to take the time to look within and start all this fixing each other. I'm gonna say what I said. This fixing each other crown bullshit is some BS. And here's why. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse, but here's why. Because we hear so many women say that this is what we're doing, but it's more than just a repost. It's more than just it's actually reaching out a little further and saying, "How is your day? And is there anything that I can do? Or I have a connection for you." Dropping these connections, making yourself available. Then when you receive these connections, then you also have to be accountable for what you do. So, I mean, I think that we have to start holding our community accountable, we as women accountable. I think that in the other case of Christian Toby Obaselli, the young gentleman that is African and was killed by his girlfriend, Courtney Cleany. Yeah, just lip service and wasted air. And he was killed by his girlfriend, Courtney Cleany. If our producer can flash the picture in the background. This was, we as a community actually came together in this photo right here. Here he is. Here's his girlfriend. And they got into an argument inside of their hotel. I think it's Miami. And she stabbed him. She said that he was abusive. He had stabbed her and that he had fought her and hit her. And she feared for her life, but she was crazy drunk out of her mind. And she killed him. And so he had made comments on his social media where he thought that Black women were ugly and he didn't like Black women, and that Black women were less, and they're all fat, and they're all scammers,
Aggressive.
and all this type of, and aggressive, and all this type of BS. So his sister comes out, and his sister's name, it's funny, is Karen. And so his sister comes out, and his sister's name is Karen. And she comes out and she asks the Black community to rally around and help him because, we need people, we need us to mobilize. And so me as a Black woman, I felt like I'm tired of mobilizing for people who won't put a good word in for me. Like, if you are willing to, to the now.
To the
now. So, I mean, and so they were really upset. The family was truly upset. They were like, "We want people to get out here and march and blah, 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 blah." And so the consensus around social media that I read was that a lot of Black women said, we are tired of putting our energy and our marching and our screaming and yelling and hollering into people that wouldn't spit on us if we was on fire. And so I think that as we are growing, Black women are growing, and we are also, being more accountable for who and what we represent. And so, but there's still a few of us that are out there that are going to fall for everything a Derek Jackson and a Kevin Samuel say. And so a big part of what we are talking about here today is, one of the questions, our producer wanted us to ask the community is, though we're not celebrating the death of any man, why should Black women contribute to these GoFundMe accounts? Like, I wouldn't have done it. I mean, are we contributing? Yeah, exactly. Should we be raising the alarm for every instance of, people like, "Oh, you're just bitter if you don't want to support this family." And I'm saying, I don't think it makes us bitter. I just think it makes us put our energy into the right place.
We're protecting our energy. because
That's
you
right.
have to look at it. As much as we take on each and every day, and as much as we're always behind our Black men, who's no one's behind us. So we got to start protecting our energy. But this, as you can see, more Black women are in therapy than Black men are. We're talking about mental health, and we're trying to put all you see now, all Black women, I'm protecting my
mental
peace
health.
and this, that, and exactly. And we have to, because we got so much going on.
She said
that
my life. I heard that.
All we have is our girlfriends to talk to, and now we're starting to go to therapy. It's not a bad deal no more, which it never was.
No, but therapy is not bad at all. It's actually it's actually
I go
really good.
weekly, every Monday. I be waiting on my therapist. I was like,
I don't know. My therapist might be in. Listen, my therapist might be in this chat somewhere. I don't know. They might not have said that yet. But child, I did in college, but I don't have one now. But I think that therapy is good. A lot of people don't even realize they are traumatized. And so, just like these families that have lost their baby, these people are traumatized, and they're going to require some therapy. The kids in those schools are going to require some therapy. This is going to live with them for the rest of their life. Just like,
but we need therapy as Black people from our childhoods.
Yes, that's called generational trauma.
Yes, I'm still dealing with trauma from my childhood, and I'm 38 years old. And because it's still relevant in my life now, how I react to things, how I'm raising my child, is all relevant. And how the way men can help us is go get some mental help yourself. Go to therapy too. Find out your flaws, because you thinking, hey, I'm good. I talked to my boys about it, and they... No, baby.
Wait, I'm telling you, let me tell you. I know someone who said that they know people that get all their information from the barbershop. I promise you. They get all their information from the barbershop.
It's the truth. Because I personally had an issue, and I said something to this guy. He like, nah, I talked to my friends about it. I'm good. No, baby, your friends are just as fucked up. Listen, they are.
Yes. You said what you said.
Your friends are
just as messed up. Exactly. And that's and that's the ignorance that keeps circulating in some of the communities out here. And that's how you get all these conspiracy theories about stupid stuff. And people are using, and that's why I say we need to pick the people that we get our advice from wisely.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And if you hold people accountable, hold yourselves accountable, hold your friends accountable. We all want a friend that's going to tell us that, yes, you did the right thing. But what about those friends that are out there? And we cannot get mad at those friends when they come to us and they say, girl, this is what he did. He really did this, and this is wrong. There was a young lady on a post, her and she was at a club, and this guy approached her. And when he approached her, he was like, hey, how you doing? Let's exchange numbers. He was really smooth. He was like, hey, let's get to know each other. Well, she went downstairs, because she's a singer actually at the club, and saw him with his hand. You saw that with his hands on another woman. And so she walks up to him. Oh, we need to play that one. And she walks up to him and she goes, so this is what we're doing? You're going to give me your number, but then you got a girlfriend down here? And the first thing he did was vilify her. And he made it sound so believable. He said, you're crazy. You're insane. You're this. You're that. I didn't ask for your number. I don't even know who you are. And so in that moment, she said, open your phone up. She said, open your phone up. Open your phone up. And so she actually called and found out that he did. We have to learn how to stand up and stand by. And, we are tired of protecting but we have to start protecting each other. And I think that is where we are moving. We are moving to a space where we're protecting each other.
Okay, listen, to all our followers, our watchers, we need y'all to call in if y'all have something to say, because y'all are blowing up in these comments. If y'all want to call in and say something, give us a call, 972-591-8032. Yes, 972-591-8032. Go ahead and you can talk to us live, and we can hit some of your comments. And also is that. So did you see the follow-up to her video though?
Okay, tell us about the follow-up. I
The
did see it,
follow-up
but
to the video was the girlfriend that he was actually with when he got old girl's number. She left him, and now him and now the two women are friends. They up here, they like, we love men, we're strictly dickly, but we're gonna build each
yes,
other up. And I'm like,
yes,
that is the energy we need. Oh my
yes, that's
God,
the
I
energy that
absolutely
we
loved
need.
it. I
But you know
absolutely
what's
loved
funny
it.
though? You know what I said to a girlfriend of mine in the hindsight of that? I said if he paid like he weighed, I said I guarantee you she wouldn't have said nothing. Cause see, that still exists. Because there is still that treachery out there that we do to
Exactly.
one another. Because even in that same breath, some women would have been like, oh, he paid, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut and play the left. And so I don't know. I don't know if it's our younger generation that's more into the, but I don't know. Nowadays, these girls, you breathe in their DMs and they out here like, girl, your man was in my DM.
They just happy to somebody. Yeah, listen, half of them they just happy somebody is talking to them. Hell, because a lot of them don't got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. And that's a whole nother topic that we can talk about later. Because
we need to talk about Thought Central. Ooh, we need to talk about.
Oh no, we need to talk about women. What you're requiring from these men. Why don't you have it first? Because I'm requiring my child to go to college. What mama went and did. I finally went and got my degree so I can hold her accountable for it. I had a conversation with her. Her dad went to college and graduated. Now her mama done went to college and graduated. Listen, we did it for generational curses, but you're doing it to make sure that it continues on. Because they say if you want to keep something from a black person, put it in a book. Baby, we finna read around here. We finna get wise and not be our ancestors for real, because they died to read and now we can read for free and ain't doing shit about it. So no, we're gonna change the narrative in my household on that. So even with the women, when we're wanting something, make sure that we have it first. Stop requiring these men to have stuff that you can't even attain yourself. I'm gonna just throw that out there for some free nuggets, okay, y'all? But back to Christian. No, I would not have gave to this GoFundMe. The reason because if you didn't feel like I was valuable enough, then you're not gonna use me when you need me. And that's another thing we got to stop doing. When our friends show us who they are and they don't want to support you, you always there for them and they never there for you, it's time to start cutting ties or treat them accordingly. Because yes, some people do hold weight in our lives, but then sometimes we also need to let that weight go and treat these people accordingly to how they are doing us. Oh, I lost you. You there? But with that being said, let's read Mia Davis. She said, some people would just rather tell you what's wrong with you so you can change so that they don't have to. This can be at work, church, family, relationships, etc. Well, a lot of people just ready to point out your flaws and not basically try to help you change. They just want to point out your flaws to make themselves look better. And I absolutely hate that. If I'm your friend and I am here for you, baby, we can walk through these trenches together. If that's how I am. That's how I want someone to be with me. Don't just tell me what's wrong. Let's help me get a game plan, because you're on the outside looking in. A lot of times we can't see our flaws. So yes, help me help you help our relationship. Like let's help me. If you're gonna be a friend, don't just tell me my flaws. Tell me some things that I could possibly do, because I might not have been led or taught that before, and maybe you have, and you can teach me something.
Right.
Because we're never too old to stop learning.
We need to not be able to engage. I mean, I have one of my best friends. She holds me accountable, and that's the reason why we are best friends, is because I wouldn't want somebody that's just gonna be a yes friend. Yes, girl,
exactly.
you said right to them, and yes, girl, they shouldn't have said you was right for going and busting that woman upside her head in the grocery store because she looked at like, no, she's gonna honestly hold me accountable and say, hey, I don't know, maybe you should think about it a little bit more, and we have to be willing to accept that type of criticism.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Instead of ride or dies, y'all should ride and cancel.
I died.
We're gonna have a counseling session while we riding over here for you to bust out his windows. Let me talk you out of this because we got shit to lose nowadays. Okay.
Now listen, I'm all about being down like 4 flat tires, as long as when we slashing the mugs, I don't end up in jail. Like,
be like, girl, we did this shit, didn't we? Yeah, be sit up here with a damn record.
that's right.
Come on, I need y'all to join in the conversation. 972-591-8032. Go ahead and join in with us. We are still hitting some of these topics.
Yes.
What else do we have?
We talked about that. We actually talked about whether or not we co-sign on the bashing of men. And I think that as we close out, I think it's really great for us to say that I do believe that strength is in numbers, even when it comes to social justice issues, when it comes to gun control issues, when it comes to family issues. And yes, it does take a village, but it also takes a village to remember to reach out to your other sister, and check in on her sometimes, to give her the good word, to remember that, we as friends are accountable. And I'm throwing this back in our court, because I feel like we don't need to have men out there justifying ourselves, justifying who we should be and what we should be. They should not be that. We need to feel good about ourselves on the inside first, and then make sure that we project that, and then things fall in our lap. It's not always about, let me say this. This is my personal business. I'm gonna put a little bit out there. I have been engaged 3 times and I've been married once. And out of those 3 times, that man chose me. But out of those 3 times, I chose me. So out of those 2 other times, I made the decision that they weren't the man for me. And so we have to get out of our head that it's just about a man choosing you because you're worthy. You have to know that you're worthy already. And if you don't understand what your worth is, then there's nothing that a Derek Jackson, a Kevin Samuels, a Steve Harvey with the gangster suit gonna be able to tell you. I'm just saying, it is what it is. I'm just saying, it doesn't matter, because you're going to have to walk that path on your own. No one knows what your day-to-day is, which we've talked about. No one knows what it is to be a strong Black woman, a silent Black woman, a quiet Black woman.
Yes.
I mean, at the end of the day, we have to remember that we need to find a tribe around us, and we need to let that tribe build us, and we pour into that tribe as well.
Correct.
And that's what these conversations are about.
Yeah, pass the offering plate.
And
now I give to that. Amen. I give to that. No. Because and then too, a lot of times when these women are bashing men, it's because I don't want to say because they want the attention, because a lot of them take them men back. You have to understand, you're not going to be bashing someone
all the time.
Yes, you don't bash people in public, because most y'all women stop bashing men in public, because most y'all taking them back. I don't want to be looking upside your head and be like, now I told this girl.
Ooh,
I knew that was gonna be.
I see him, but you know what? I see him, and there's a stereotype that's only Black women that's cussing, nigga, you ain't this and you not that, and blah 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 blah. And that's not true, because I can look over into this parking lot below me and I see a lot of women of all colors bashing their husbands. So I mean, I feel like we need to stop believing that stereotypes that are out there belong to us, because a lot of them don't. And so and so it was always the reason why Black men date white women is because Black women are loud, or Black women are ghetto, or Black women are this. And that's not the truth at all, because I see white women that are ghetto. I see Hispanic women that are ghetto. So, I mean, we need to remember that we are not these stereotypes. These stereotypes are created about us. Now, there are some things that might reign true in certain areas. Correct. But that doesn't mean that is who each and every last one of us are.
Yes.
So
just like the men. I do feel like as Black men, we do need to build up our Black men. Honestly, we do. even though they're not being who we need them to be, sometimes it takes the right person to lead you in the right direction.
And see, and I think that's a part of the problem. I don't think that we need to build up anybody until we've built up ourselves. Because again, we just said that we're suffering from emotional trauma from a child. So first we have to go in and fix our issues. That's like taking that oxygen mask in the plane and putting it on yourself, because you can't help the person next to you. So I need to be right with me before we could be right together. I'm sorry. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I absolutely get you. Okay. I'm saying it in the sense of we have to allow people to get the information, process the information, and let them start using it. My deal is I don't want to write you completely off. Oh, you ain't going to therapy. You ain't doing this and ain't doing this. Well, let me at least tell you about it and put the ball in your court.
Yes.
Because I want someone that's healed. A lot of issues with where we're jumping relationship to relationship and we're not healing. Shit, we got so much to heal from. Baby, let me tell you to go heal and see what you do with it. Because I can give you the therapist number, but are you going to pick up the phone and call them? Because that's going to show you your true value to me personally. That's going to be my value if you get the information, because they say knowledge is power. It ain't power until it's actually applied. And they say also that you know better, you do better. No, because a lot of us know not to smoke cigarettes, this, that, and the other, because we can die and go get cancer. But hell, you still doing it. My deal is you know better when it puts you in a bad position, then you start doing better. And then that's when you want to start praying, Jesus, help me. Listen, let's learn to be proactive instead of reactive to every damn thing. Okay, that's it.
Yes. Yes. We got a few more comments before we close out. And this one struck me. And the producer keeps putting it up here. It says, why aren't white men out there trying to teach white women how to get a man? Ooh.
Oh, damn. Why black men feel need to? Shit, I ain't never thought about that.
I haven't either. We need
Nina.
to get her on the show. Look, you want
Nina, you should have called us. Get that. I have never. Now that you said that, just like I ain't never seen no Mexican twins.
Mm-hmm. Nina, we're going to have to make sure you come back next time, Miss Nina White. And
yeah, we got to talk about that.
Yes, that's a topic. That we should have led, but that one, because
she said I'm cooking dinner for your man or for the kids. She keeping her man. She cooking him dinner. I would have told mine. You better get some Uber Eats. Hell, I work today too. Nah, I'm sure. Nina, do your thing, sis.
For real. But you know,
I've never thought about that.
That's something that we didn't touch on. You know, there's a lot of there are a lot of people out here that don't even touch on that. Where are all the white men out here saying this is what you white women need to do in order to blah 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 blah? I don't see them out there saying stop date black men. You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
You know,
that just really blew my mind, though, honestly, because that it's been said, I have never seen it. If somebody in the comments that's listening, if y'all have heard this or seen a podcast about white men telling white women how to keep them and get a man, please let us know, because I ain't never heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
That just blew my mind. I mean,
the person with the you got to think about it like this. They always say, well, black women, the percentage of black women getting married is the lowest, and this, and this, and blah, 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 blah. But, you know, as I check out what she says, you know, I think that, yeah, I've never seen a podcast. I ain't never seen no white boy get up there and be like, what you ladies need to do is you need to make sure that, you know, it's cowboy dinner every night. You know, we need to make sure that
my Salisbury steak with the
Salisbury steak. Shoot, my cowboy boots need to be lined up if you in the South. You know what I mean? Like I have never seen that. I have never seen that. And so that goes to the testament that, you know, we have to make sure that we are looking at the right people to listen to and to, you know, to lead us as we look for information on how to navigate through our personal relationships.
They just go for what they want. I'm here for the tobacco and the
Go in
pipe.
the pipe.
Exactly. No, baby, it's the dip. How the they need their spit bottle ready. Let me stop stereotyping. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. But
you know, listen, what do we say about stereotypes? There are some truths to some stereotypes.
no,
And some are for fun.
yes.
And some are for fun. And, you know, some are to be mean. You know what I mean? So, you know, we just have to remember that. Again, today what you're listening to is you're listening to two very bright and intelligent women having conversation about hot topics. What matters? Nothing that we're here to say is to be offensive, to glorify hate speech, hate against other races.
No.
You know, I think that everybody can understand that sometimes we need platforms and forums that are going to speak the truth, and we want to say what we said and not have to and be unapologetic about it. You know,
Exactly.
So we
mess around and get snagged up by one good old Dale. Where he at, Mia? Where he at now?
Hey,
Well,
but you know, I always tell sisters, you know, we have to not be afraid to explore and open our horizons when it comes to dating.
True.
As you know, we need to make sure that, you know, we said he's gonna say once you go white, you've been done right.
I ain't heard that either, but I like it. You've been done right. See, now you done just made it for these black men.
We're gonna have to get me a date on this too.
I know, right?
For real.
Okay, it's been an awesome show. He up here telling us we need to wrap it up.
Awesome. I have really had fun. Next time it's gonna be a wine. We're gonna do a wine tasting event. Hey, let's do it. Let's get all the ladies. We're gonna come back at 7. Everybody get their glass of wine, and then we're gonna vote on some topics. We're gonna post them inside of the platform. And so you guys will go in and kind of vote with us and tell us what you'd like to talk about. Or if you have a topic that you think deserves some attention on this platform, just hit up Debbie J, and let her know, hey, let's talk about this. And you know, I think this was a great first show. I think this was fun. I want to do it again. I think that we both come from we're both coming from a place where we're comfortable with ourselves to be unapologetic about what we say. So true. I had fun with you tonight. I enjoyed this.
Man, I had a blast, Ladybug. We definitely doing this again. Like she said, give us your feedback. Let us know what y'all want to talk about. Miss Mina, let us know.
We need to get Miss Mina on here and Mia Davis. We need you guys
both
to
of them. Yes. We definitely want to hear too, because y'all have truly been vocal in our comments and loving what you're saying and points of view. So definitely want to get you on the show as well. But hey, do you have any parting thoughts, Ladybug? You want to leave with the people?
I don't. Again, you guys just tune in, listen for our updates. We are looking to expand this platform. This particular show, I said what I said. So we're looking for another bright personality. And if you're not too shy, we'd love to have you come on and try out a session with us and just see if we can all vibe and, you know, just really talk about some issues, some things we haven't touched on. And ladies, please, if there is something that we missed tonight, please send it to us, because what you guys are developing here in the comments is just amazing. So, you know, I think that there are topics out there. I know a lot of people can be camera shy, but, you know, come on, let us know. We ain't afraid. We'll say it. You know,
put it on a napkin. I'ma say it. We said what we said.
We said what we said tonight. I mean, if I run for office next week, they're gonna be like, Miss Allen, did you say that if you go right, you're gonna get done right?
I did. I said it because
I would say somebody in the comments said it. I just repeated it. Bye, y'all.
That was a good line. I absolutely love it. Come, please join us again. Keep following us at The Floor Is Yours podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, IG. What else are we missing? TikTok.
TikTok.
Go follow us and leave your comments. Give us some feedback. It's all about your delivery.
Criticism, anything to make us better. We all right. We want to build our tribe together. Let's start here.
Exactly. And my jewel to take away is for this. Life is what you make it. If you don't like what you got, change it.
That's right.
It's literally that simple. If you don't like what's going on in your life, develop a plan, develop a goal, and start working at it. It's literally that simple. And make sure you're giving glory and honor to whoever you go. I'm a Christ believer. I believe my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ died on the cross for my sins. And so that's who I'm going to thank him for everything that he has done for me. And then
seek him first.
Acknowledge him. Yes. Acknowledge him in all his ways and he will direct your paths. So I'll take that with you with tonight. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining in. I had a blast. Let's do this.
Roll the intro. Let's
go. Hey. I said what I said.
I said what I
said. What I said. Hey. I said what I said.